At ease, brothers. What does it really mean for a woman to be an asset in your life, man? I think we're finally getting over the hump, man. I think brothers are finally waking up to the fact that we can't solely base our decisions as far as like what woman is going to be in your life. We can't solely base that decision on the size of her donk or how long the hair is to the ground or how the nails are did and all these physical things. Of course, we're men. Of course, a man has to be physically attracted to the woman he has in his life. But I think a lot of men have been able to see the writing on the wall, can see how other men's relationships have played out and say, you know what, bro? Like I have to start basing this on some other factors, man. It really what it comes down to, man. We have to get out of the mindset of wanting trophy wives. Meaning women that have no substance, but they look good, on the scene or on the block. And start bringing women in that are assets, man. Assets. Like if you aren't looking at relationships like part of your life's business plan, part of your life's mission plan, brother, you got life all screwed up. You got life all screwed up, man. She must be an asset, man. What do you mean, soul? She must be an asset. In other words, that woman coming in your life must make your life better than it was before she was there. If your life is going a certain way and now your life takes a nose turn or does something because she's in your life, that woman is not an asset. Bob Proctor said this, and I remember watching one of his old flicks, man, something he recorded back in the 70s. And he said this a million times. He said, energy is either always moving forward or it's always moving back, but it's never sitting still. And I remember saying several years ago, man, when a woman comes in your life, again, this woman is a turbocharger. This woman is stirring up all kind of energies. Either your life is shooting forward or it's shooting back, but it's not going to be the same. There's not a single man on the planet that's in a single state that's rolling solo. And a woman comes in his life and his life makes absolutely no change. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, man. So a woman must be an asset, brothers. And the first thing I want to point out, man, as far as a woman being an asset, what I mean is a woman must be able to identify your greatness and multiply it. A woman must be able to identify your greatness and multiply it. Before I even get into that though, brothers, I have to talk about today's sponsor, Tehandly. Because I can't talk about something identifying my greatness and multiply it without talking about Tehandly. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember when I first started using the product, man, my skin is on 10 since then. If you want, I'm gonna tell you this, brothers. If you want to be able to wake up in the middle of the night and your woman is just gazing at your skin, gazing at your face, if you want a woman that's always want to touch and kiss on your skin and always compliment on how it looks hydrated and all this stuff, brothers, Tehandly is the solution for that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you this: y'all brothers don't want those problems. You don't want women jumping in the DMs trying to start conversations saying, dang, I don't know what it is, but it's something about you looking good. Like, dang, hey, big head, I know it's your birthday, but you aging in reverse. Y'all don't want those problems. You don't want those problems, brother. So let me tell you this: stay away from Tehandly. You don't want that cup runneth over of women desiring to compliment you and talk to you and touch. You don't want those problems, brothers. Stay away from Tehandly. But on the same token, I'm glad to partner with them today. Believe me, man, Tehandly is the truth. You've heard me talk about them before, and you're going to be hearing me talk about them for a long time because I know the positive impact they've had on my life. Seriously, I don't think some of you brothers believe me when I tell you how much implementing a quality skincare routine will improve confidence in all areas of your life. Tehandly makes taking care of your skincare uncomplicated. They provide you with all the products that you need and nothing you don't. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20, and a PM moisturizer. Oh, and to make it simple for guys like us, they provide this instruction card in every box that tells you how and when to use each product. It definitely comes in clutch. Skincare wasn't something I always took seriously, brothers, but now I wish I would have sooner. But you don't have to take my word for it, brothers. There are over 5,000 5-star reviews from customers around the globe. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tehandly get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off of retail price, access to exclusive monthly deals, the ability to pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Tehandly is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description box and you'll get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. Don't miss out on this amazing deal. Click that link and get started today. So again, brothers, I would say that the main thing that makes her an asset in a man's life, or makes her an asset in your life, is her ability to recognize your greatness and multiply it. But I know you're asking the question, how does she do that, Soul? Or I know sisters are saying, Soul, I understand that. How shall I do that? And I talked about this in A Code to Her Chemistry. I've mentioned this on 1 or 2 videos. You have to understand, brothers. You have to understand that, again, that thing that most men fear in women, that thing that we're referring to is that hypergamous energy. All we're talking about is her divine femininity. You have to understand that's the power she has that's gonna catapult your life. That part of her is your secret weapon, man. But the thing is this, she has to understand what it is and she has to know how to use it. What that means is the woman you bring in your life must know herself. This thing I've been talking about for forever and a day, understanding individual polarity. Like when I say, y'all brothers, if you don't know nothing else, know who you are. Your woman must know who she is. Because if she doesn't, I don't care what it's encased in. I don't care if she comes. I don't care if this energy is encased in the biggest, the bootiest, or the finest or longest of whatever. I don't care what it's encased in. If she doesn't know how to utilize that energy by first knowing herself, brother, she can't possibly be an asset to you. She can't possibly be an asset to you, bro. That's that energy that's going to push you ahead, man. And I want to speak to a small demographic. I want to speak to both the men and women. To be honest, I really want to speak to a lot of the women that are between 21, 25 and 35. Or to be honest, all women. This is what I want you to understand. And this is why I kind of pulled out the younger women first. It's because I understand now that a lot of younger women that are, where a lot of men consider this a woman's prime, being 25, 20, whatever. I understand a lot of women are moving in a certain energy and are saying, you know what? Well, I'm bad. I'm beautiful. I'm sexy. I'm popping. I'm this. I want a man that can take care of me. So what a lot of y'all sisters are doing, you're bypassing a lot of my younger brothers. A lot of the younger men I refer to as my nephews. You're bypassing them, looking for maybe slightly older men that may have a bigger bag or been at the job longer or may have that dream car or dream house. You're looking at them wanting to just walk in that situation and say, okay, you know what? Now I have that thing that I deserve. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to tell you, sisters, if you understand what I'm talking about now about identifying a man's greatness and multiplying it, these brothers that you look around you right now, you said, hey, man, this brother, he's trying to, he's talking about doing this. Okay, yeah, he's trying to start a YouTube channel. He's talking about starting a trucking company. He's trying to do this. That's the man you want to get. That's the man you want to lock in. You want to lock in that man where he's just now finding himself and he's about to climb out of that situation. That's the man you want to find, attached to, and pour into. Because if you can pour to that man when he's at the bottom, he's yours. He's yours. You know, in other words, you were in the gym with him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of ladies want to just step in and say, okay, you know, I get this and I deserve this. You help a man build that kingdom. It's a completely different ball game. And it doesn't take much, because a lot of y'all sisters will wake up. A lot of y'all sisters will wake up at 0:30 and drive to Kmart, drive to JCPenney's, drive to JP Morgan Chase, drive to all these companies and give them 12, 14, 16 hours a day, right? Full steam ahead. But then go home and don't want to give your man no energy. You don't want to assist him in his dream in no way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm gonna tell you this, sisters. You go and put that 10 hours in at work, and you every once in a while you come in and just dedicate an hour to helping your man research his business, telling your man the assets that he has and how he can move from the way you see it, from your divine femininity, and watch that 1 hour you pour into that man turn into 2 hours, turn into weekends that come up and y'all both say, you know what? Let's not even go out tonight. Let's not hit the club. Let's not go to Coco Pellis. Let's not go to Ruth Chris. Let's not do nothing. Let's sit there and let's cook dinner and let's sit down and let's put 3 or 4 hours in it. You're gonna realize real quick, sisters, that when you pour into your man like that, identifies greatness and multiply it, that job that you go to every day that you can't stand, it's going to be a short period of time before you're not even working there, because that man is going to say, you know what? I understand your position now. I understand what you're pouring into me. And I understand now that if you're not there giving all this energy to build somebody else's kingdom, if I can have you right here with me in your divine femininity, I understand that's my asset, that you're my asset. You're my secret weapon. A lot of y'all women have to understand that. So again, the first thing is, brothers, she must be able to identify your greatness and multiply it. I'll say the second attribute that makes a woman an asset is, I'll say she must be able to bring peace in your life, brothers. And I know this sounds like super cliche. A woman needs to bring peace. Man, this is everything, bro. Like a woman has to understand, and I'll say it like this. There are a lot of bad women. I'm talking about possibly 8, 9s, and dimes that are looking around and seeing women in relationships and are asking themselves, how is this woman in a relationship and I'm not? I got all these degrees. I got all this. I'm in the gym every day. I got a size 0 waist. I keep my hair and nails and toes did. I'm driving a Benz. I look good. I smell good. How did little Jennifer, that's a homebody, how did she get wifed up? How did Rebecca, how did Jasmine, how did Felicia, how did they get wifed up? Well, they don't possess the attributes I have as a woman. A lot of women have no idea that being a man's piece is higher on the list than they think. No man wants to come home, and no man wants to get off work and be back and forth texting with a woman that's bringing anything else but peace. And of course I can go and say, oh, well, a woman is bringing attitude. And I'm not even talking about that. Just bringing negativity. A man don't always want to hear about all the negative things you saw on social media or everything that was happening. He don't want to always hear that. Of course, a man should be able to listen and talk to his woman, and she should be able to really, but you should be bringing peace into your man's life. When he's been grinding all day, when he's been on a computer all day, when he's been on conference calls all day, when he's been on that assembly line all day, when he's been behind that steering wheel all day, when he's been dealing with his boss that's kind of wishy-washy, the last thing he wants to do when he come home, man, is still be in that world. I'm gonna say this: a lot of y'all women have to learn how to create a bubble. You know what I'm saying? You have to, and I've been talking about this forever and a day. A man creates his own bubble. But you understand, when a man gets with a woman, and now he can fully go out and conquer, the woman has to be that bubble. So when he comes home, he has to feel like he's on a different planet. If a woman can give a man the ability to almost forget that the world exists when he comes home, man, a lot of women don't understand how great of an asset that is. A lot of women don't understand that. Being a man's peace, man, that's gonna shoot you light years ahead of a ton of women, especially if it's a man that has been in a situation where his peace has been robbed. A lot of women don't have no idea, man, that makes them a major asset in a man's life. Just being his peace, just rubbing his back, just cooking his favorite meal every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Just by bringing peace in his life. And that's not something that a woman has to go above and beyond to do. It's inside of her. You can be around a lot of women, and you can be around a lot of women that you aren't even intimate with, that you might work with, that you might know from whatever organizations, and you can just be in a woman's presence and say, you know what, that woman is peaceful. Like, I have an attraction to her just because she's a peaceful person to be around. Be a man's peace. Or brothers, make sure she brings peace in your life. Or man, you're going to have a long road of destruction and a life full of hell, man. Straight up what it is, right? And then I would say the third one is, and this is important for a number of reasons, brothers. The third thing that makes a woman an asset to you is she must have a journey herself. And what I mean by that is she must be passionate about something herself. In other words, she must have something she's interested in. She must have something that occupies her mind. Or brother, I'm going to tell you this. You're going to find out quick that she's really not an asset to you. And that doesn't necessarily mean leaving the house and going to work. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It could just be a simple hobby. Or it could be a simple cause that she's always engaged in it. And I'm going to tell you why that's important, man. I'm going to tell you why it's important. There's a saying, and I might butcher it up, where it says, idle time is a devil's workshop, or something like that, right? You have to understand, idle time is the devil's workshop, which means if you and your woman come together and now y'all are one entity unit, one entity, right? You have to understand that a lot of times you as a man, you may be focused, you may be locked in, you may be disciplined, you may have all these attributes, but you got to understand sometimes that force that can throw us off balance, it may attack your woman, which is attacking you through your back door. You know what I'm saying? In other words, if all your the woman in your life, if her whole thing when she wakes up in the morning is just to wake up and look at the world and figure out what I'm going to do today. What am I going to watch on TV? Oh, do I want to go to Starbucks? Oh, do I want to go have brunch with the girls? Like, I'm just alive. Man, your woman is susceptible to all kind of energies. Again, an idle mind is the devil's workshop, man. So I know, of course, man, we want the women in our life, man, to live the most laid back life possible. But if your woman doesn't have something she's passionate about to occupy her mind, she's just an open window for the quote unquote enemy to creep in. A woman must, man, I'm gonna tell you this. A woman without a passion, and the thing is this, man. Not only does that make her an asset because it closes all windows, it assists in the relationship on growing and evolving. Because just as much as that woman is pouring into you, a real man wants to pour back into his woman. A real man wants to say, you know what? Okay, babe, I know you're trying to start your wreath business. I know you're trying to start selling wigs. I know you're trying to start selling this. You want to write a book. You want to do XYZ. You want this. Like all that you pour into me. Like, you think I don't want to pour back into you and see you be great? You think it's all about me? But sister, I want to see you be great too. So when a woman has that thing she's passionate about, she might be like, yeah, I'm into making wreaths. And you might be sitting there saying, you're like, you can bring in a few $1,000s a month by that. Let me show you how. So again, man, it's all about a woman being an asset in your life, man. It's all about people being assets for each other. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm glad to see that a lot of men are waking up to the fact, man, that a curvy waist and a big butt and a smile is just not the end goal no more. Of course, it's important to be attracted. You have to be. She should be the sexiest thing to you, man. But you have to start looking past that, man, and start looking inside of a woman and saying, you know what? What is it that makes her an asset to me? Brothers, don't forget about the amazing deal at Tehandly. Click that link and get started today.